Sure.
Let's do it.
Like every week?
No, quicker. It's long.
We had a long preamble.
Yeah.
I
Scared it out of you.
Damn it, now it's going to be stuck on me all morning. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Falcons Corner, voice of the Falcons, Mike Ricker. Good guy to know, co-host Danny Bird.
And sneeze blocker.
Yes, sneeze blocker. And then you ordered a quick episode right before we got on. And then SID, Triple Threat Tom, for like a week or two.
Yeah, still have some time.
It's turn 2 time.
Mm-hmm. Then we get going.
I miss Professor Ferguson.
I don't know if he does.
I don't right now.
Right.
Maybe at some point. Not right now, though.
You have a different setup than last week, too.
I do.
I want a camera on this side so I can show everyone
We went
the
back
setup.
to Old Faithful.
Yeah, you have double table and a cushion.
We are
let's
currently
not expose
configured.
that.
We are currently configured for media days down here,
Right.
so we had to kind of switch what we're doing just for today anyway.
Right.
So
I don't want to give away our secrets. People will be stealing that stuff.
yeah, this is
Show
high.
them
This is
people.
high tech.
No, we can't show them what we're doing.
This is
All right,
proprietary.
fine,
We can't be
fine.
giving
I
this
do
away.
like that little mini tripod. I know I missed
I
it
do
last
too.
week, but
Yeah.
cute little guy. Cute little guy. So, all right, so basketball season's wrapping up, and if it doesn't get better soon, it's going to wrap up faster than we want it to, especially on the men's side.
Yeah, pretty accurate. Last week was a busy week.
Yeah.
A bunch of overtime, double overtime. I think we filmed before that, right?
Yeah.
Against Essex, and then regular overtime against Division I Monroe.
Right, which was a
And
great game, by the way.
Awesome. And then, then we go out to Middlesex on Saturday and just really never really got it going.
Yeah.
I think we fell down by 20 more than one.
Right, and they
one
battled
occasion.
back.
They got
and
it down to 3.
And I talked
right?
to Kirk, and like every time it seemed like we made a run and kind of got back in the game, that they'd make a big shot or we'd
Yeah.
have an untimely turnover.
Right. It was a really very good competitive 0-3 week.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
No, they played 3 exactly. They played
Right.
3
it
good
could have
games,
been
but
it could have easily been 3-0.
3-0,
Right, which would have really helped out.
Right, but those 2 conference losses, Essex and Middlesex, really put us in a tough spot.
Right.
right,
Yeah, so
because
we have to win out now in region 2 to go, right?
at this point now, we are 4-6 in the region. This is before the Morris game, which is being
Right.
played Tuesday this week. We have to win at Morris and we have to win at Mercer just to get to 500 in the region, just to qualify maybe for the 5th. I don't know exactly how it would work, but either the 5th or the 4th seed, whatever it might be, just to get into the playoff.
Right, and that's a tall task because they hand it to Morris and
Morris beat them pretty good here, and then Mercer really shot the lights out
they
just
handed
before
it to us
Thanksgiving.
too.
Yeah, early on, I
Right.
think we're a lot different, but last
Sure.
week, it was a long week.
Yeah.
So at least it's Morris today and Mercer. Not until
Not until the end of the
season,
year.
Right.
February 17th.
Right.
So,
So, but
they got their work cut out for them,
Right.
but they're a pretty resilient group by keeping it so tight. We just
Right.
got to close out.
Right. So if you could put the result of Tuesday night's game here, and
hopefully
then
it's
if
a-
anyone's
hopefully
hoping
it's
that
a
we make a
thumbs up.
postseason run, that we want a W and L would basically
Right.
end their chances
Yeah.
of
But we'd be a
postseason
dangerous
play.
team to see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Multiple
wouldn't want-
coaches
Right.
of those other teams have already said
Yeah, I'm
that.
sure. I'm sure. Other schools are
ones,
hoping for a 1-1 week out of us, or
Yeah.
0-2, left in region play. But they are also. We were home Thursday night though in non-region play. So if you want to get out, you're watching this right
And
now. Come
Saturday.
on out.
Yeah.
Thursday and Saturday.
Thursday and Saturday for sophomore day.
Yeah. Dundalk on Thursday. Pretty good Dundalk team.
Right.
They actually took that similar Monroe team to overtime.
Okay.
And whatchamacallit on Saturday, you got Rockland.
It's gonna be Rockland, right?
Yeah, coming in. So.
All right, and then women's looking a little bit better for a playoff berth. Hopefully, there's a chance that we may host a 4-5 play-in. Mm-hmm. It's possible still, right? It's on the table.
I'm 99% confident that we will end up hosting a 4-5 matchup with Middlesex,
All right, good.
which would likely be February 24th.
Right, and they were Victoria at Middlesex on the weekend.
Right, which was the big thing, because now we will not finish below them in the standings, so we'll stay at that 4. Middlesex will be below 500 in conference play, but they have an overall record of above 500,
Right.
so that would qualify them for the playoffs. But then you're seeded based on your conference.
Right.
So, so based on that, and we still have Salem left, we could potentially finish, I think, 500 anyway,
Right.
right?
Or just a game below.
Or just a game below, but still at the 4th spot that guarantees us a conference tournament. We'll host a 4-5 matchup against that Middlesex team, likely on February 24th.
Right.
But we still have some games before that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they are home, which is Tuesday evening. They're playing Herkimer tonight.
Herkimer.
So,
Makeup.
Ferg, do your magic.
Yeah.
Toss it right there. Hopefully it's a W. And then they're on the road Thursday.
Yes.
On the road Thursday at
home on
Northampton.
Saturday.
Home on Saturday against, Salem?
Salem.
Part of our sophomore day. And then we'll go a little bit forecasted. Next Tuesday, they're at Union.
Right.
So
Yep.
they got a heck of a little stretch themselves,
I
kind
know-
of like the guys had last week.
Yeah.
Right. And I know I checked the rankings yesterday. Harcum is and Union are both top 10. I know Harcum was 6 or 7. I think Union was 8 or 9, or vice versa. Or something.
yeah,
But I know
but
Harcum was ahead of Union.
Were they?
They were.
And Union's number 1 in our conference right now.
Yeah.
With only 0 losses, right?
Yeah. I don't think they've lost anybody.
And Harcum's got 3. So I think Union got them twice, maybe, and Raritan got them. Or?
Well, I know Harcum's losses have been to Raritan and Union. I know they play Raritan towards the end of the year down at Harcum.
Okay, which is different.
Yeah, which is it's going to be different, especially after playing at Raritan and losing there. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that finishes. Right? You know, obviously Union's going to probably be that number 1 team.
Right.
But who is going to finish 2nd or 3rd between Harcum and Raritan is going to be
Who's
interesting.
going to finish first and have to play the Falcons in the 1-4 matchup?
That's it,
Right.
The 4-5 matchup.
Well,
the winner
who,
goes on.
Who else would we fit? Who else would we see but Union?
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
and Union and stuff too. So of course, it's such a nice place to play. It's lovely. We love it and stuff too. So, and wrapping up our home events, we hosted a wrestling match last
did.
Friday. Even though Bergen came a little bit late, I got free pizza out of the deal.
And boy, did he didn't lobby hard for it at all.
No, and Josh was dragging his feet, calling. I kept trying to drop some hints that
The
let's
difference
go,
maker.
let's go.
Who was the difference maker on getting the pizza? When Kira came downstairs and
Yes.
we were like, "Are you hungry?" She's like, "Yeah, I could go for some pizza."
Yeah.
It was like, "All right, well, she wants."
Well,
some
now
pizza.
we know.
Sure, we get it done.
Yes, but
And you got to take some home.
I got to taste. Did you?
And I did too
And I
because
ate
he
it
was
all
willing to
weekend.
share.
Yes, I ate it all weekend.
So did we.
So we had a nice wrestling matchup against Bergen, victorious in our duel with
Yeah,
them.
with 36-12, which was great.
Yep, you did a fantastic job scoring.
First time
And
on the
working riding
scoreboard
clock
and
was
riding
an
time.
unbelievable job.
Shout out to Kevin Roginski from the football staff coming over to help out on the scoreboard
We did
too.
more talking than
He
helping.
did more. He did. He did a little bit more talking with Coach Bardini. But by that point, I had already sorted it out. It was the first match where there was riding time. Then I'm looking at the console, and the scoreboards reflect it's a mirror.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, this way. And it was not that way.
Yeah,
It should have
yeah,
been for us. Because when you're looking at it from the outside, it definitely went the wrong way. But, kudos to Mr. Official Bert Geneleza, who quietly came over and just said, you need to change that and figure it out now.
So
And it should be at this. So he was on his game. Not only did he have to worry about his match, he had to worry about
But the riding time would not have come into effect in the matches
At all?
Too. But let's talk about Dylan Hogan, who had a comeback pin,
Yeah.
trailing late in the 3rd, and then
How about
I don't know
that?
how many seconds were left in the match when he
22.
secured the pin. 22
He got it
seconds
at 6:38 in the
left.
match.
And then that
And
earned.
he was down.
He was down
Yeah, he was
7
down.
to
He was
1.
losing- He was going to lose the match.
Yeah,
I was
rough.
watching his dad more in the stands than I was watching the match himself. Just to see, because his dad is a wrestling coach.
He
so
is,
just to see how he was reacting to Dylan falling behind, and he was fired up when Dylan secured that pin. But that earned him Athlete of the Week.
It did. It was a really cool end to it because he had the guy on his back and it looked like he was out of control. And Dylan just kind of raised himself up, flipped him over onto his back, and then just kind of pinned his shoulders down. And it was a key moment in the duel itself because at that point I think it was 15-6. Cole Fufers probably at that point was Bergen's best wrestler that I thought we saw all night, and it seemed like he was going to get a win. Bergen might get a little momentum heading into the latter stages of the night, and Dylan gets a big pinfall victory.
I think even more important than even in the duel is like Dylan doesn't have as good as a win-loss record as he did last year. So hopefully that'll get him rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we were hosting championships in a week or so.
We hadn't competed in as many opens to get them. We had like 2 duels early on where they would have been opens where we would have gotten no less than 4 matches. So getting canceled with the quad the week before, that allowed us to host, which was nice for some.
Yeah, it was nice to honor those guys.
But it was good to see Shannon get a pin.
Yeah.
All those sophomores, just everybody. But Bergen beat Union.
Right.
Earlier in the week, I think on Tuesday. But their win-loss record overall didn't get them into the GSAC tournament last weekend, where Union was, I think, the number 1 or number 2 seed.
Okay.
So Union had beat Middlesex, they beat Camden, they beat Gloucester, they beat those other Jersey schools, and then lost to Bergen. And we beat Bergen. So I'm hoping that maybe that's a little bit foreshadowing that we can finish in the top 3 or top 2 or at the Gulf Atlantic.
And then you had Simeon Hunt finish with an exciting finish too. Let's shout him out because it wasn't a pin, but it was 5-5 with about 2 seconds to go, and he got that quick reversal and takedown to pick up 3 points for the win. So.
And then I went home and watched Penn State, Ohio State wrestling on TV. I just got fired up, right?
Was it a little different?
It was just a tad different. There might have been a couple more people there, and but it's okay. But are you going to talk to Dylan?
I'm going to try to, yes.
So if that's happening, it's going to happen after this commercial break.
That's right.
All right, we'll be back in the Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director with Lackawanna College, and we're talking to our Athlete of the Week. This week comes to us from the Wrestling Falcons, Lackawanna College Wrestling, and Dylan Hogan joining us here. Dylan, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on with us. And emotional sophomore day victory for you guys, knocking off Bergen 36-12, especially in your match. Let's get right into it at 165. Match is kind of hanging in the balance at that point, could kind of go either way, and you're down late in the third period, and you're able to spin out and pull it off. Tell us a little bit about the victory.
Well, I'm not going to lie. The guy I was versing, he was tougher than me. He was stronger than me, but I think I just had more will in me, to pull out the win. And as soon as I put him on his back, I could feel him just give up.
Right. Well, I mean, and the way that it happened, too, you're kind of on the ground. He's almost on top of you. Was there a moment where you're like, oh, wait a minute, I might be able to flip him here?
Yes, for sure. As soon as I saw my opportunity, I took it.
Right. And you're able to flip him over, pin the shoulders, you get the pin victory, and then you guys kind of sail the rest of the way through. I mean, had to be helpful for you guys. I know this year has kind of come in fits and starts in terms of matches you guys have been able to have and cancellations and postponements and all that stuff, but had to feel good for you guys. You got the victory, obviously. John Caroma got a big win. Shannon got a nice win as well. Even Simeon had a pretty exciting win too with the decision. It had to feel good for you guys to come away with that with some big wins.
It was nice being our sophomore night too, and all of our sophomores were able to pull out the win.
Yeah, to compete and be a part of it, and against Bergen and come away with the victory. And now you kind of turn the corner and you get ready for the district. Is it hard to believe that you're already talking about districts?
The season went by fast, not gonna lie, but it was fun every moment of it.
Right. And now we kind of turn our attention to that. I know the wins and losses have been different for you this year than maybe they were last year. What do you feel like you've improved upon maybe from last year to this year? What did last year kind of teach you, and What are you using? How are you using those lessons this year?
I think this year we faced a lot of like D1 colleges and a lot tougher competition this year, and
Right.
We're able to get a better look at ourselves
Right.
as a whole.
So do you find, even in those where maybe you don't get the decision or you don't get the victory, do you still feel like those are good in terms of what they do for you as a wrestler?
Absolutely. We're able to watch our films and learn from our losses and practice it in the room every day.
Right, and get after it in the room. What are you looking forward to as we get into the district here, and as the Gulf Atlantic's not too far away? It's next weekend.
I'm just getting ready with my team. We're all getting really excited and hyped up. We want to win.
I mean, how important is it for you guys to host it in your mind?
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all want to be in the finals.
Do you feel like there's a bit of a home mat advantage to be able to do that here?
Oh, for sure.
And
They're coming to our house.
Now I know the cheering section that comes from East Stroudsburg North. They're coming for you guys no matter where you go. But is
Yeah.
it nice to be a little closer to home too and have them come see you guys wrestle?
Absolutely. For sure.
And they bring the noise, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking with Dylan Hogan here, one of our wrestlers from Lackawanna College Wrestling. So Dylan, you're a sophomore here. What are you studying?
Right now I'm in professional studies.
So what do you want to do with professional studies?
I'm not too sure, but I hope. I just know it's easier to transfer with that.
Right.
So-
Right. So the goal is to go to a 4-year school, obviously, and continue to wrestle there
Yes,
too, right?
for sure.
And that's what we're hoping for. You and I guess your friend, we'll call him Evan, joined the program at the same time, came from East Stroudsburg North. I mean, what brought you to Lackawanna College? Was it that Evan was coming and you came with him, or was it vice versa? What kind of made you guys?
We were
come
both
together?
kind of recruited by the same coach.
Yeah.
So we talked to each other. We're like, all right, let's do this.
Right.
So both at the same time.
Right. So you and Evan Raposo came here, and obviously Evan got injured and hasn't been able to wrestle the second half of the season. But I know you guys are super close. Has he been giving you advice? Has he been kind of cheering you on? What has he been doing in lieu of not being able to wrestle?
He's definitely been giving me a lot of advice, and the whole team. He's looking over all of us, and hopefully once he's able to wrestle in the tournament coming up.
Yeah, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the hope. I just know how intense he gets,
Yeah.
especially when it
It's
comes
good.
to
We need
wrestling.
it.
So I know he's got to have that outlet somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you like to do when you're not wrestling? When when you're not studying, you're not wrestling. What are things you try to do to relax yourself, or you try to do in your free time?
I like cinematography, creating my own videos and stuff.
Okay.
So, I actually just made a video last night. I have an Instagram where I just post my own videos and
What are they
photography and
videos
stuff.
of?
It's just like edits and stuff, like cool, slow motion.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it like wrestling footage or of just anything that you
Uh,
find?
The people who follow my cinematography account don't know I wrestle or anything.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool. 2 different lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always found that you've been kind of creative and artsy in that?
Oh,
in
yeah, I
that
love the
sense?
arts.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
I'm sure that helps you kind of clear your mind or be able to focus on that kind of stuff
Absolutely.
and give you a different outlet. When we're talking wrestling and you're amping yourself up before a match, what are you listening to? What are you doing?
Ooh. It depends. If I'm feeling more like anxious, I'm gonna listen to like Adele or something, where I can just like float and just like move.
Okay.
And just like totally forget.
Okay.
And just do my thing. But like if everybody around me is hyped and like I'm ready to go, I'll listen to like Lil TJ or like Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
To be jumping around with everybody.
Okay.
And like just get ready to go out there and pound some heads in.
I've never heard someone say they listen to Adele before a sporting event. That's great. That's really cool. But I like that. I like where
Yeah.
you mellow out, chill out a little
Yeah.
bit. That's good. Any superstitions or anything that you have to do before you get on the mat?
I always tape my shoes the exact same way. Every
Okay.
single time.
All right.
Like I start at one side and I always finish on the other side.
Okay.
Always one time.
Has there been a time where you've like screwed it up and you had to do it over again?
Yes, absolutely. So many times.
That's great. You were able to go to the national tournament last year. What do you feel like you took away from competing in that?
Well, definitely going out there the first time, having no experience of what it's going to look like or anything,
Right.
was a little intimidating.
Sure.
But this year I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I know what it's going to look like. I'm ready.
Do you think that's a big help, is knowing what you're in for?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
hmm
And then what was it like competing against some of the people that you guys went up against out there?
Out there, it's definitely a lot different from what we do normal season because everybody out there is do or die.
Right.
But
Right. And everybody out there obviously has qualified, so everybody there is good
yeah,
at that point.
the mentality is
right?
different.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a moment? You mentioned the guy you faced against Bergen was a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit stronger than you, or that you were expecting. There are different kind of fluctuations in who you end up matched up against. Does it, once that bell rings or once things start, does it kind of just become a wrestling match, or are there different ways that you kind of approach depending on who you're wrestling against?
As soon as that whistle blows, everything in my mind goes blank. It's just what I know.
Right.
That nothing matters. It doesn't matter who he is or anything.
It's about doing what you know you can do.
Yeah.
And
it's usually just a wrestling match against myself.
Right.
Every match it's not you against your opponent, it's you against yourself.
Right. Well, Dylan, we can't wait to host again. We love hosting the Gulf Atlantic, so we're looking forward to having you guys up there. We think Shannon's going to sing too.
Yeah.
Does that give you a little extra motivation?
Oh
too?
yeah, for sure. I'm ready to hear his voice.
He has had to step up a couple times now and do that.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to the tournament, and then hopefully we can get you guys qualified, get you back out there, and get out to Council Bluffs, and maybe we'll be talking about medal places and all that stuff. I know that's probably the end goal for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Dylan, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on. We've got more with Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Hey everybody, back on the Falcons Corner, voice of the Falcons, Mike Rigger, good guy to know, co-host Danny Berg. Shot clock tonight? No. Scorebook or score clock or game managing?
One of the three.
Okay, not shot clock because Michael will be here.
Yeah, sorry, I got to talk to Josh. You might be doing the book.
I'm planning on doing both.
Yeah, I think you'll probably do the book, and I'll stand and leave Josh on the clock because that's more important. Like,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
book's official, but no one sees that.
I'll be doing the talking with Steve Young behind.
Steve Young.
Yeah.
Steve Young?
Yes.
Back
Maybe
behind the
Kira
mic.
on crowd control.
Sure, why not?
She's got a mic.
Yeah.
I don't have her plugged in, but she's got a mic. But
Yeah,
she's
we're gonna-
too
we're gonna
terrified.
get her in. All right.
We got baseball coming up this weekend. They're traveling to Bryan and Stratton down to the Virginia Beach area. The weather's looking good so far for them, so
Yeah.
hopefully they get in their games that they have scheduled. So that'll be exciting to get the guys out on the baseball field.
We
We
did meet-
season started.
Practicing
Still ranked.
outside this weekend?
Yep. Baseball's been out.
Bunch of
Oh,
times, right?
yeah, they were out on the weekend. Infield's not ready yet to do any infield work,
Right.
but doing live at bats and doing some long toss and running and
we did media day on Friday, and the guys
Media day
are
on-
fired up. And
day on Friday. So baseball's
Still ranked 15.
still ranked
Yes.
15. Yeah, I don't think there's been any movement in any of the rankings.
I think this is the
Division
opening
two.
weekend that they go
I know
play.
Division One's open because I'm just looking at the schedule,
Right.
seeing the schools that they're playing when they go down south. There's a couple of D1.
yeah, no, I think Monroe opened their season.
Right.
And speaking of Division One, and a couple other schools down that way. So
So I know Florida has also
Yes.
opened their season.
yeah,
up. So-
I follow their account, their baseball account. It started tweeting out their the play-by-play or the
Okay,
batter by batter
right.
stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
so
it's spring.
Yep, so baseball's on the way, and then softball, like you said, is outside, and they open up the following weekend, so we can talk more about that next week.
Yes.
About
All
them
right.
opening the season. All right.
Let them get the study
Great
hall.
job today. Study hall time. Guys got to eat. Study hall with no books, though, so we're doing
Yeah,
good.
just some food.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Well, it doesn't
it's
start till
food hall.
9:30.
Food hall.
It's 9:20.
Yeah,
I got 10 minutes.
some guys got their laptops out, though. I'm going to
They got-
recognize all the guys. Robert, you did a lot of push-ups. Do you want to show everyone how many push-ups you did to get a free sweatshirt today? Are you good? All right.
I'm sore for him. I guess.
All right, good. So, all right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next week on the Falcons Corner. Take care.